It's Old Testament. Real rock of God type stuff. The great human sacrifice, God and man living together. That's charity.
Whoa, man, I don't know about you, but well, that was one hell of a week, wasn't it? I mean, geez, I don't know where to start. Good grief. I mean, I'm sure that it was just, I'm sure it was as eventful for all of you as it was for all of me. Shout out, of course, to everyone joining in the chat. Oh my gosh, I can't even get to everybody. Delmas, AM Customs. I have Uncle Bo. Let's see, Bored Little Ghost, Big M, Destiny Marie, Casual, a whole bunch of people joining in, of course, at Sam Newsman on several different social media channels right now. At Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Facebook. AM Customs 80 has also joined us. What is that? Sculpator? Sculpator is here as well. Like I said, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, White Vegeta as well, Hypercube, Buster Bernard. Good morning. That's right. Sam the Vote. Please text. Let me see if I can pin that there. Please text 190-284-375-5011. Well, I mean, that's the best of Richmond. Is that where we should start? Should just start with the promotions? I mean, listen. I don't even know. Last when we met, do you remember what we were talking about? Do you remember which superhero that we talked about? You do. You remember that it was a Superman type of Saturday morning. Well, I'll be damned if you know what? If it seemed like that the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, was some sort of Superman dodging a bullet faster than a speeding bullet. And of course, it has been one crazy tornado storm in the news media cycle over the last week. A lot of stuff going on. In fact, I don't even really know where to begin. But like I said, well, it is superhero summer. And it seems that the former president, at least half the country, is actually a superhero for dodging a bullet. No, seriously, dodged a bullet. Listen, that's fact now, right? Well, I guess, there's conspiracies everywhere. Who knows what to believe? But how about it when your conspiracy tinfoil hat becomes a crown of knowledge? I had somebody send me a meme the other day in reference to that. Buster Bernard as well. Start off with a positive story. I'll tell you, you know what's positive? That it is Saturday morning. And the positive thing that we should talk about is Saturday morning is alive. That's right. Your government did take away your cartoons. They did. And you say, well, Sam, that's not positive at all. And I would say, well, hold on. Just because the government passed legislation and took away your cartoons, when they did that, you were sitting there thinking, well, cartoons might not ever return. Well. 6 years ago, I started this little radio show, came out of retirement, and a couple of NDAs finally expired. And of course, I was able to start playing songs on the radio. Not just any songs, but the cartoon themes of your past. Cartoon themes, movie themes, all types of themes that brought back that magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning. And then, of course, what happened was one day, now hold on, let me back up just a little bit. We were on a Thursday. We used to do this show on a Thursday. And one day, or blanket took over the phone. I mean, the phone lines got disrupted, and then all of a sudden, there was cartoon themes playing through the speakers, and the people here locally called in and said, "Would you play this? Would you play that? Would you play this? Would you play that?" Next thing you know, I take the show, move it to Saturday morning, and then that's where I am right now, here with all of you. But what if I told you that you have the power to continue to allow Saturday morning to remain alive? You do all you have to do. Text 190 to the number on the screen. There's a number on the screen. There's a ticker over here. And then there's a ticker. Well, there's a pinned comment over there. Who do we have? We have Misconduct Brewing just joined as well. Like I said, people are joining in all over here. Let's see. Inhumanoids theme song, please, is what White Vegeta is requesting. Make sure that we cue that up here in just a little bit. Some Inhumanoids for White Vegeta. Like I said, it is a superhero Saturday, a superhero summer. And last week we had Superman. And of course, this week we have our neighborhood friendly Spider-Man. That's right, a couple of Spider-Man themes coming up here in a little bit. You know, Spider-Man is very interesting. You know, that is Stan Lee's baby, if you will. Well, of course, yes, him and Jack Kirby did the Fantastic Four too. But it was Stan Lee and, well, it was, I'm sure somebody will put the name of the original artist. But anyways, Spider-Man was Stan Lee's baby. You know, he didn't create Spider-Man until he was about 40 years old. So sometimes people say, well, when does Spider-Man came along when Stan Lee was 40? So the Roadrunner theme is what someone else is saying. You know, you guys need to start writing these down. We got the Roadrunner theme. We have Inhumanoids theme. Hold on, let's see here. Inhumanoids. So we'll play that a little bit later. Humanoids. O-I-D. Yeah. Well, it's right there. Well, you guys having problems over there? Well, I'm just talking to the guys over behind the glass. So anyways, if you're watching us and you might sit there thinking, well, who are you talking to, Sam? Well, you guys aren't going to hear them because that would just disrupt the whole show. Last thing you need to hear is my producer's voice. And it would just make your, can we still say make your ears bleed? People are going to get offended if we say that. Oh my God, that's a threat. No. But Steve Ditko, that's who it was. Steve Ditko. And it was Steve Ditko and Stan Lee. They created Spider-Man. And, I tell people all the time, Spider-Man was when Stan Lee was 40. So don't ever count yourself out. Sometimes people bloom a little bit later. And so right? Well, what? Favorite Spider-Man villain? Well, that's a good question. Maybe that's what people can put in the chat. Who's your favorite Spider-Man? When you think about Spider-Man is very interesting. It's kind of like Batman for DC. All of Spider-Man's villains are so much cooler than he is. Right. I mean, it's the same thing with Batman, right? I mean, because all the villains of Batman are cooler than he is. Well, I mean, those are just the facts. That's not, the bad guys are always cooler. And you know what? And the real thing is, and if I might have to say this, the bad guys are probably actually the good guys. And what you're seeing is just corporate propaganda, to puff up the good guys, make you think that the good guys are the good guys. And the good guys probably aren't the good guys. The good guys are the bad guys. It's just like in real life. You think the good guys are the good guys, but the good guys are the bad guys. And then you say, well, who's the bad guys? Well, the bad guys are everybody. Why? Is because the bad guys are everywhere. Well, what do you mean? Well, that means that sometimes you might have a good guy who's a bad guy, but the bad guy might be a good guy, but then the good guy becomes the bad guy then becomes the good guy. Does that all make sense? I mean, this is very, very simple. Okay. Well, I'll try to explain it a little bit more a little bit later. Matt Shude is joining us. Car toys and stuff. Well, that's about as clear as you can get. Car toys and stuff. Big Fat Jack joining us. Of course, everybody joining in here on Instagram, like I said. Now, make sure that if you are following us here on Instagram, you're following us all over social media. But one thing you need to do is you need to download the Live 365 app. And download the Live 365 app, search WDCE, because then you'll be able to listen to these theme songs that Professor Deep Cut Dave sent over to me, these Spider-Man theme songs, here in just a bit. And then what's going to happen is that then we'll be radio only with Professor Deep Cut Dave. He's going to go over these songs, some of these shows, and we're going to talk about a few things. And once again, that's radio only. Yes, that's a real radio microphone over my shoulder right there. Yep. A real radio microphone. And as you can see, if you were here like a local, you just jump in your car, turn on WDC 90.1 FM on the radio dial, and you can hear my beautiful puppet voice. But if you're not here locally, then what? Well, like I said, download the Live 365 app or go to WDCE.org. Big Fat Jack says, Sam, you are the GOAT. And you're definitely invited to the barbecue. Well, listen, I will definitely show up to the barbecue. It's interesting. I'm getting more and more into the whole smoked meats thing. Yeah, they're absolutely delicious. Well, no. Listen, I don't eat any of that stuff. It'd get all over my felt fingers. No, I support it by proxy, and I'm a big fan. Any smoked meats. I mean, that's just that's the real American way, right? Smoked meats and a barbecue, all that good stuff. Shout out to Sir Philosopher. Are you listening to Sir Philosopher and mixtapes after this show? The only show I listen to on Saturday after my show. Then I listen to Under the Needle too. No, I can't say that. I just listen to WDCE all day long. I start with Get Lost, and then there's this show, and then there's mixtapes. I mean, and then there's Under the Needle at 7. It just keeps going and going and going, setting the standard and raising the bar. That's what we do here. This little old tiny campus, campus radio station, 8 Mile signal, whatever it is. And here we are having some of the best radio programs in all of Richmond. And like I said, you can vote for us for the best morning radio show. Best morning radio show by the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Make sure you just text 190-2804-375-5011. And I have a little ticker there at the bottom of the screen over here. And then I have, there's it pinned over there. Now we're going to come back at 11:11 here on the Sam Cams. Got a tribute and memorial segment, a memorial read segment for, of course, the late, great Bob Newhart. Bob Newhart passed away, so we will be talking about Bob Newhart at 11:11, a little memorial segment for him. But like I said, we're going to play some Spider-Man jams, and we're going to be back with the professor of nostalgia, Professor Deep Cut Dave, here on the other side of this break. At Sam Newsman, all over social media is where you're going to find me, setting the standard, raising the bar. The only way a real media puppet knows how to do. Broadcasting live from the overcast campus here at the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.